priceless.
Well, yes, I can only imagine. Jelly baby?
No, thank you. I swear, you'll start to look like one of those.
Oh, how absurd, Sarah. One cannot simply turn into a jelly baby by eating them. Although, would that be so bad? Oh, they are good.
So, where are we?
Yes, Earth-like atmosphere, comfortable temperate zone climate. That's odd.
What is?
I smell something. My Gallifreyan nose is very sensitive to smells, but what? It's like something burning, but metallic. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Are we in any danger?
Oh, I do hope so. We always seem to be. Isn't it exciting?
Well, yes. But sometimes I think I would enjoy a little boredom.
I know a place you'd absolutely love. The weather never changes, all the food tastes like chicken, every bit of foliage exactly the same. Very easy to get lost. Speaking of getting lost, shall we explore? There's an odd smell again. Do you smell it?
Doctor,
Yes.
how good are your Gallifreyan ears?
Sensitive enough to hear what you're hearing.
Good. I was hoping you could. There's something coming down that track.
Indeed, how intriguing. It sounds like a car of some sort, a very old one at that.
It sounds like more than one, Doctor. Maybe we should take cover.
Yes, an excellent idea. Quickly over here behind these rocks. Watch your step, my dear. Here, take my hand.
Thank you. There we are. I think we should be concealed enough here. Can you see what's making that noise yet?
No, not quite. I believe whatever it is should be coming around that bend in just a... No, it can't be.
What is it? Can you see?
That's impossible.
It's impossible. Let me see. My heavens! Wait a minute. Are they Daleks?
Yes, it would appear so. Not any kind I've had the displeasure of witnessing before.
What on earth is that tube sticking out of their backs? And why is there so much smoke? Are they on fire?
Maybe that were true, sir. But unfortunately, no. They look like... Yes, they look like exhaust ports. Get down!
Oh, that was too close for my liking.
Quite. Interesting. Daleks with internal combustion engines.
Like a car?
Yes, exactly that. Did you notice their armament?
I did, yes. Their guns look like something from the First World War. And unless I'm very much mistaken, it looked to be part of a belt-fed Lewis gun.
An excellent observation that is so near yet so far. The Lewis gun was never belt-fed, Sarah Jane. It used a
97-round drum magazine. Yes, Doctor. Please excuse my error in such circumstances, but I believe we should be more concerned that this is an alien planet.
Ah, yes, there is that. Tell me, as I'm now very much intrigued as to how you come to know your weaponry of the First World War as well as you do.
Oh, come now, Doctor. You really need to ask an investigative journalist about how they've come to know so much about weaponry. I've covered more stories involving guns than I care to imagine. It's only natural that a lady should retain some knowledge about what they are called. Anyway, perhaps we should cut short this conversation and our planned exploration of this planet and make our exit.
Really, Sarah Jane, where's your sense of adventure? Aren't you a little curious as to these interesting variants on your ordinary garden variety Dalek?
Not particularly, no.
Well, no matter. My sonic screwdriver should be able to... How very odd.
Talking about your garden variety type, Doctor, but why are you holding a Phillips screwdriver?
This should be my sonic screwdriver. How very strange. Have you taken to picking pockets in your copious amounts of spare time?
I most certainly have not. And as much as I love Dickens,
Splendid fellow.
I am no artful dodger.
A most congenial host.
Wait, you knew Charles Dickens?
Stories, Sarah Jane. Stories for another time. I think you may be right about taking our leave. Let's get back to the TARDIS. Post haste. All right, time to... Sarah Jane, have you been redecorating?
No. Why?
There seems to be more than the usual amount of brass and mahogany in the TARDIS.
You noticed it too.
Yes, certainly a lot more gears, dials and cogs than before.
It is definitely different.
I rather like it. Has a very real old world library feel. Yes, very nice.
Doctor, there's something very, very wrong here.
Oh no. It's worse than we thought. We're out of fuel.
What do you mean we're out of fuel?
Petrol, to be precise.
Sorry, what?
Since we've already established that you have excellent hearing, I'm going to assume your question is more along a theatrical line, indicating comprehension mixed with astonishment and a soupçon of disbelief.
Yes. Let me elaborate. What on earth do you mean we're out of petrol? This is a TARDIS. It doesn't run on petrol. I supposed it to run on atomic energy or cosmic rays or unicorn saliva. I don't know, but not petrol. What's so funny?
Unicorn saliva, that's hilarious.
Doctor, stop it. This is no joke. We are in a jam, right?
Or a pickle.
Doctor, please.
You're right, Sarah Jane. We must focus. Although it is healthy to retain one's sense of humour in times of trouble.
Really? Why?
Why? I have no idea, my dear. Isn't that what the British have always tried to do? You tell me.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I don't know, Doctor. What are we to do?
Well, I find the easiest course of action is to summarise our situation and through that seek our solutions. 1, we must get off this planet. 2, our only way off is via the TARDIS. 3, the TARDIS now runs on petrol.
At least at the present.
The present is all we have at the moment because 4, the TARDIS is out of petrol. Which means that 5, we have to find some.
Where are we to find petrol on an alien planet?
Come on, Sarah Jane, think.
Oh, no. You cannot possibly be thinking that. Can you?
Yes, I can. Number 6, the Daleks. Or less to assume they have petrol. We must find their source.
Why, do you suppose they'll sell it to us?
Ha ha! See, British wit. I like it.
I have a hunch that you mean we may have to steal it. That could mean we pay with our lives.
A far too high a price to pay.
So, we do steal it then?
I like your way of thinking. We must find their fuel storage facilities and make a small withdrawal.
Whatever are you looking for?
Binoculars, they should come in handy.
That's a spyglass.
So it is. How very odd. I've acquired many souvenirs over the years, but I don't ever recollect obtaining a spyglass. Oh, now that is very strange.
Stranger than finding a spyglass in amongst your possessions that you claim you never had.
Yes. You see, my binoculars were made by a company called Baker Optics. Superb craftsmanship. Simply the best.
And why is that so strange?
Please, could you just humour me and read the engraved insignia on the side of the spyglass?
Of course. It says Baker Optics.
Yes, indeed it does. I wonder.
There you go again. In a world of your own.
Sorry. Sorry, I just wonder if this may in actual fact be my very own binoculars.
If they are, then we really need to get off this planet.
Agreed. Should we go find a Dalek?
Now, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for... Aha! This.
A revolver?
A .455 caliber breech-loading Webley Mark I to be precise. 1890 vintage, 61 shillings out the door. Ammunition extra, of course.
Isn't that a bit primitive?
Smoke-belching Daleks, the TARDIS running on petrol, a plain vanilla spyglass. I think the Webley fits in with the overall theme rather well. And just so you won't feel left out, there's a Martini Henry right over there, behind that Zulu shield.
Doctor!
Pick those up at Rorke's Drift.
Doctor!
Yes, what is it?
Aren't you forgetting one slight detail?
I highly doubt it. It's not in my capacity to forget things. Well, at least I don't think I do. Why?
Dalekanium.
What about it?
You said that it's bulletproof.
Ah, yes, of course. A slight oversight and one that matters not, as I don't have any ammunition for this anyway. Well, are you coming?
Where are we going?
To get some petrol. Oh, do try to keep up.
I suppose it's quite reassuring to know that one may still rely on our noses and our ears to track things when advanced technology isn't readily available.
One must always rely on their senses first. When you can rely on those no more, then, and only then, must you succumb to the use of technology. Unless you have a sonic screwdriver, so much quicker you see. One must never leave home without it.
But you're without it now. You only have a normal screwdriver, Doctor.
Exactly. Which is why we are using our noses and ears. It would seem we are here. Look, down there. Daleks everywhere, as far as the eye can see. Like a swarm. A pestilence that should be obliterated from existence.
Doctor!
Oh, I'm sorry to offend, but just look at them. Chugging along, busy attending to matters for the greater good of their kind. Visions of fusion bombs and supremacy dancing around in their mutated heads. It sickens me to the soul.
These aren't like the other Daleks, you know, though. These are more rustic, mechanical, not as dangerous.
My dear Sarah Jane, make no mistake. Just because their casings are more primitive and not as advanced as their counterparts does not make them any less dangerous. Oh no, not at all. The danger of the Dalek lays deep within its group conscious. The very fabric of what makes up their, dare I say, soul, is what makes them the most dangerous, destructive, and evil life form in the universe. And why they should be destroyed. Every last one of them. Primitive or advanced.
But the destruction of an entire race, does that not make you any less worse than them, Doctor?
Not in the very least. My desire to rid the universe of this plague of monstrous robotic dustbins is for the greater good of civilization, so that all can live without fear. Their desire is to be the only race. We have very different viewpoints. That much is clear. Jenny, baby?
No, thank you. It doesn't really matter at this moment anyway, because I don't think this is going to work, Doctor.
Oh, just because there are a few hundred Daleks, each one carrying a machine gun with a desire to kill anything other than another Dalek, between us and the petrol tanks, what makes you think it won't work? Where's that optimistic spirit, eh?
Oh, forgive me. Around you, I always am optimistic, yet I feel that I must still point out the obvious flaws in your plans. How much fuel are we going to need?
Interesting question. Don't you know I don't have the foggiest? This is the first time the TARDIS has ever used any. I don't have the slightest inkling how many miles per gallon it gets. Why do you ask?
Well, I had a thought. What if we could capture a Dalek and siphon off its fuel? Maybe that would be enough.
At the very least we get a better idea of how much we need.
We'd need to waylay a lone scout,
Even alone, a Dalek is quite dangerous.
This, from someone who's faced down thousands of them.
I know it sounds peculiar, but Daleks armed with machine guns are a bit more frightening than ones carrying energy weapons and electronic gizmos. I'm not bulletproof. Oh well, it's been a good life, and its ups and downs.
Doctor?
Yes, you're right. No time for regrets.
We need to isolate a Dalek, incapacitate it, siphon off its fuel, and get back to the TARDIS.
Yes, quite. Did you perchance bring a jerry can? You know, something to hold the petrol once extracted?
I know what a jerry can is. And the answer is no. I did not. Oh, bother.
Yes. Well, now we must lure a lone Dalek back to the TARDIS. Then we can be concerned how to get the petrol out of the former and into the latter.
And how to defend ourselves from an armed and armoured opponent.
Please, sir, take one problem at a time. First, we need to find one in control.
Of course. You are quite correct. However, may I add just one more potential problem?
Oh, must you?
On this occasion, I really feel I should. Look!
Yeah. Oh, are they what I think they are? This is definitely not good.
Cybermen!
Yes, indeed. Cybermen.
But Doctor, they're steam-powered.
How very interesting. You could have seen that coming.
Daleks and Cybermen!
Yes, it should be fun. They've never gotten along, you know.
The Cybermen don't seem to be carrying any weapons.
Well, the battle will be quite short.
They're using their fists.
How delightfully old-fashioned and well in keeping with the theme of this planet, wouldn't you say?
They seem to be doing fairly well.
Well, they do have the advantage in mobility, if not firepower.
Speaking of firepower, did you see that? Dalek was hit by one of his own.
Dalek Alia. It isn't bulletproof.
Look, the Cybermen are heading for the fuel tanks.
They're trying to draw the Daleks' fire.
Oh, Doctor, could the Daleks really be that stupid?
Yes, they could.
Score 1 for the Cybermen.
Quite a Pyrrhic victory, though. I don't see any of them left standing, only bits and pieces.
And I can't see any surviving Daleks.
You head back to the TARDIS. I'll see if there are any left, and you head back to there. Be careful.
And you, Doctor. Remember, you aren't bulletproof.
But I am cunning and quick. I'll be fine. Now hop along and I'll be there soon.
That was quick. Did you find one?
Exterminate!
I'll take that as a yes!
Stop talking and run!
Exterminate!
Dodging would also be an excellent idea.
Exterminate!
I suppose one should admire their sense of purpose.
Doctor! Quickly! Down here!
I do so hate hiding.
Oh, really? How are you on the subject of dying?
I've done that a few times. Not recommended.
Daleks will destroy all life. Daleks will destroy. Ammunition depleted. Must reload.
Doctor, I think he's out.
What a stroke of luck for us, hey? For a moment I thought this was going to be like a bad movie, where no one runs out of ammunition. Time for some fun.
Doctor!
Hello there! Are you looking for me?
Halt! You will obey. Exterminate!
Well, as much as I would love to oblige, it would seem that you are out of ammunition.
You are a prisoner of the Dalek. You will be
Doctor, don't get so close.
It's okay. He can't do anything. He's out of bullets. Tag, you're it. See, for me to be a prisoner, it'd have to catch me first, and that won't happen, as I'm so quick and agile.
Come on, you big rusting tin pot! Catch me if you can! Halt! You will obey!
Behind those trees.
What's the plan?
You know, I actually do have one. When we reach the TARDIS, I'll grab the Webley. You grab the Martini Henry. When the Dalek enters...
Enters? You're actually going to let a Dalek into the TARDIS?
We don't have much of a choice.
But the pistol and the rifle will be useless. We don't have any ammunition.
We know that. The Dalek doesn't.
Exterminate!
Right, time to go. There's a TARDIS up ahead. After you grab the rifle, take a position on the landing.
High ground. Right.
Exterminate!
He really needs new dialogue.
He's right behind us.
I've got the rifle.
I've got the Webley.
And we have company.
Annihilate! Destroy!
Stop right there!
Daleks, conquer and destroy!
With what? You're out of ammunition.
And we're, I've got a rifle. A very large rifle.
I'd rather not shoot you. I detest loud noises. All I want is your petrol.
Daleks will destroy all life!
Not today. We saw how your Dalek aim isn't as bulletproof as it usually is. I said I'd rather not shoot you. Actually, I'd love to. Sorry about that, but one way or another we're going to have that petrol. It's up to you whether you live or die.
Resistance is futile!
I'm glad you see it my way. Keep him covered while I refuel the TARDIS. They're all done. Now, if I'm reading these antiquated dials correctly, the fuel we have added hasn't made too much of a difference. Barely any at all. According to this, we have enough to get us off this planet. However, in the interest of being optimistic, that should be all we need.
And what of the Dalek, Doctor? What shall we do with it?
Ah, yes. The Dalek. One of, if not the, most vicious, heinous, remorseless killers in the entire galaxy. Yes, I for one would not lose a moment's sleep if it were to die right in front of my very eyes. However, I can see by the look in your eyes that I may be a tad overdramatic. Yes, all right. Don't go on about it, Sarah Jane. Yes, it is defenseless and now somewhat immobile. I say we just leave it outside the TARDIS.
I'm quite sure I never said a word, but isn't leaving it outside just the same as killing it? How can it survive without its fuel?
How can it survive? I ask myself the same thing every time I confront these abominations. I see this is playing on your very moral fabric, so let me ask you this. What is your determination of the situation we find ourselves in,
My determination is simple. The Daleks, the Cybermen, you and I. We all have one thing in common, don't we?
Which is?
That none of us are indigenous to this planet.
Go on.
And that all of us are in a very different state to what we were.
Such as?
Well, the Daleks and the Cybermen are reduced to being purely mechanical combustion engines. The TARDIS, the same. We are all changing. Thankfully, it would seem our anatomy is immune to the changes.
And your conclusion?
The planet, the atmosphere, maybe, but definitely something.
Or someone.
Something that changes anything that visits this place into some sort of Victorian steampunk fantasy.
Aha. Now we're talking. For their own amusement, no doubt.
And not for some grander, more ulterior motive?
I think not. All this artistically attractive technology wouldn't stand a chance against more advanced weaponry. Have you ever noticed that in any literary or theatrical alternative reality, there are dirigibles?
Why, yes. Yes, you're right.
Yet dirigibles have died out as a form of transport or military application. Why?
Because they are big, slow-moving, easy targets.
Exactly. Elegant icons of a bygone era. Totally useless against modern technology. No, this is all some sort of game. And whoever is running it will probably take care of the Dalek one way or another. So aren't you coming? Yes, I'm very sure I will, but not right now. Cheerio! One Dalek safely parked outside.
Doctor! Look out! The Cybermen!
Blast!
I knew I should have locked that.
You are the Doctor.
Do you think you could come back another time? We're not really accepting any more callers today.
You are the Doctor, are you not?
That's the problem with you Cybermen. No sense of humour. Or anything else for that matter. You seem to have taken quite a bit of damage.
We do not feel pain. The damage is insignificant.
But your arm, it's...
Silence! You are the Doctor. You will take me from this planet.
Yes, you've established who I am. Unfortunately though, dear chap.
We aren't a taxi service.
Quite right, as she said. Sorry, can't help.
This is not a request. It is an order.
And if we refuse?
Then I will destroy you both and take the ship.
Ah, well, that is quite a predicament, and one that...
You will not.
Well, I know that I didn't say that. And I'm sure it wasn't you, Sarah Jane. Most definitely not the Cyberman.
Who speaks? Show yourself.
I'm afraid that is not possible. But you may call me the rest. I live here.
Just the man. Person. Entity. Sorry, how should one address you?
You may address me as the resident. I am sorry to have caused you any trouble, Doctor.
Trouble? What trouble? I'm not aware of any trouble caused. Are you, Doctor? I mean, we've only been stranded here with a planet full of Daleks and Cybermen, whilst our TARDIS has been transformed into some sort of Victorian nightmare. I mean, what trouble?
Forgive the bluntness of my companion here. Resident, my stress levels seem to be peaking. I do like the mahogany.
Ooh, we have been shot at by Daleks, threatened by a Cyberman, and faced death on more than one occasion. No trouble at all, Mr. Resident, sir.
Are her stress levels always this high, Doctor?
Well, on a few occasions she may tend towards panic, but I've decided to find it a quite charming trait of hers.
Well, in any case, my apologies. I was on the other side of the planet, watching some spacefaring race trying to deal with stone knives and bear skins, and just returned in time to see the Cyberman walk in.
You are responsible for our transformation?
Very much so. I alter anyone that lands on my planet. I enjoy watching how different species deal with primitive implements. You could call it a passion of mine.
Your planet?
Yes, Doctor. My planet. I have been here for centuries.
But why change your visits? Why is it your passion?
Eons ago, Doctor, this planet, Thran, was inhabited by a race called the Managatans. They were centuries ahead of other species and developed some staggering technology that was more than capable of annihilating entire solar systems. Unfortunately, their thirst for domination became too great, and they sought to take their newfound power and technology and use it to conquer other worlds.
The Mandagoons. Yes, I have heard of them. I thought they were a myth. So what happened? Are you the last of their kind?
Oh, no, Doctor. I am what you would call an artificial intelligence. I was created by the assist in the destruction of all others.
Fascinating. So what became of the race? Where are they now?
I destroyed them.
All right. Now I'm frightened.
You have no reason to fear me. I hold no animosity toward you. I destroyed the Managadons to stop them from waging war on other worlds. They were a horrible, violent people. If I hadn't, they would have gone marauding across the galaxy, killing whomever got in their way.
How terribly good of you for an AI designed to destroy civilizations. Why did you not do as you were programmed to do?
As I said, Doctor, the technology was so far in advance of any other civilization that in creating me, they also created a conscience. What they failed to do was block that conscience. So I saw the error of their ways and stopped them.
And thank goodness they did. Or you would have been no better than the Daleks, if not worse. Where exactly are you?
I am buried deep within the planet, in a bunker. It is impenetrable to keep me safe from any attack.
How did you do it?
Destroy them? By using their technology against them. The very same technology that I used to transform the Daleks, Cybermen, and your TARDIS. I am sure that any species that visits my planet with any sign of threat is transformed. All their basic technology turned back to its basic mechanics. Therefore, they pose no threat to myself or any other world. It is how I keep myself content. I cannot change living tissue or anything organic, but my machinery and anything else is easily transformed. It ensures they cannot leave.
So effectively your planet is one big Venus flytrap, just waiting for its prey. Absolutely fascinating.
Absolutely fascinating. But what about us? How do we leave here?
Leave? Why, you may leave here whenever you wish. I have reached out to the galaxy and heard many stories of your courage and bravery, Doctor. You pose no threat to the galaxy.
Others may disagree, but I'll take your compliment and leave. Just one question. Do we have enough petrol? You see, I've never really used the stuff.
Fear not, Doctor. I shall transform the TARDIS back to its former self.
Just one more thing. Could you perhaps leave some of the brass and mahogany? It adds an old world charm to it, and I quite like it.
As you wish.
You are taking me with you. You are my prisoners.
I'd completely forgotten you were still here.
The Doctor and his companion are not our prisoners. And you are to remain here. You cannot ever leave this planet. The Doctor is a force for good in the universe. You are not.
What did you do to him?
His mechanical parts have been transformed into very light, immobile plastic. Doctor, if you would be so good as to leave him outside, I'll change him back again later.
With the greatest of pleasure.
Stop! You are my prisoner!
Where have I heard that before? Oh, yes, the Dalek.
Put me down!
Oh, do be quiet.
Are there any more surviving Daleks and Cybermen on the planet?
A few.
Are you just going to let them kill each other?
Is this an issue for you?
No, not really.
Then all is in order.
He was a bit difficult to balance, so I left him propped up against a tree near the Dalek. I'm sure they have a lot to talk about. I guess it's time for us to be going.
Goodbye, Doctor. Companion. Safe travels.
What about you?
I shall continue keeping this planet safe and amusing myself.
Right, well, very good. We appreciate your valiant efforts in peacekeeping. We'll no doubt cross paths again someday.
Halt! You are now under the rule of the Cybermen.
Exterminate!
Halt!
Exterminate!
Destroy!
Exterminate!
Destroy!
Exterminate!